Hello, this is Sculpt January number 10. And this time the task was the expression disgust. And I thought I'd do a sort of snooty looking man looking disgusted. Maybe he spotted a working class person doing something he didn't like. So I started off with the cube as normal, subdivided it to about 4 levels, then applied that and started pulling it around with the snake hook tool. I find that's the easiest way to start with heads and busts. Thought I'd go for a cartoony look this time, so a caricature style with a big nose and small mouth, big eyes, just for a bit of fun. This one was shorter. I managed to get this into about 2 or 3 hours, somewhere around there, which I think is about right really. If you're doing it every day, it's quite a lot of work, and I think I have seen a few people commenting about the amount of time it takes. And really, if you are a busy person, then the main thing is just getting involved, and it doesn't have to be complicated or exceptional, but just getting used to the tools, the different brushes, the techniques. That's the main thing, and little and often is one of my mottos really. Although I'm not sticking to that, I'm sticking to an awful lot and often, which is kind of killing me a little bit. It's good to get involved though, because it keeps you motivated to have some sort of challenge and something you're aiming for. And it's nice that other people are doing it as well, and there's a group and community involved. Now here I've gone off symmetry and I'm shifting it about and warping the face so he looks more disgusted, as if he is literally looking down his nose at someone. I was trying out the rotate tool and not doing a very good job either. There is a rotate brush, which sometimes can be quite handy, but it wasn't working for me there. And that's part of it really, getting used to what works and what doesn't with these sort of brushes. You have to be quite sure as well, when you go away from symmetry, be quite sure that that's definitely what you want, because everything becomes twice as long after that point. So I could have gone across to this sort of warped look a bit later, but I wasn't sure how it was going to look and whether it was worth doing. So again, it's all about learning a workflow. I'm doing separate meshes for the eyes and the eyelids this time, and the eyebrows in fact. I just thought that would make it a bit quicker, and I feel it worked better in fact. And the eyebrows kind of being separate and raised and pointed and so forth seemed to work, for me they did anyway, rather than trying to paint it onto my sculpt, which is quite awkward with eyebrows. Now weirdly with this one, I could have actually upped the detail a little bit earlier, because I'm drawing sharp lines at the moment and you can probably see they're a bit blotchy, and I should have just upped the detail, which would make them a bit smoother. The problem is when you up the detail, smoothing things out and editing a shape becomes a bit more time consuming. When I up the detailed, I apply it to the whole mesh, so if you've got constant detail selected, you can say apply to a whole mesh. And I went round with the smooth brush on a low value and just quickly scrubbed around the model. But can you see I'm having to do both sides, of course, because it's not on symmetry anymore, because the face is so warped and disfigured. I'm still really enjoying the process. It is tiring every day, and I've been putting quite a few hours into these, too much really, and that's why I'm happy that this one was much less, at around 2 or 3 hours. The videos obviously take me about 40 minutes to an hour as well, just putting them all together, putting them on the timeline and recording a video, so it's quite a long process. But I am actually getting quicker at it, so it is really beneficial. This process as well I'm getting a lot quicker at. I hadn't used Blender render for baking before I started this sculpting challenge, and now I'm getting quite fast at it. It is a better way of baking than Cycles. Cycles is glitchy, whereas Blender render is a bit faster, and you can do cavity maps with Blender render, and as you can see here with my node editing and material setting, they look quite effective. So quickly putting an ambient occlusion in and having a cavity mask overlaid on that, and the normal maps of course, and it gives quite a nice quick result. So there we have it, number 10, Disgust. Thank you again for all your support, really appreciated. It's just wonderful seeing that people are enjoying my work and getting something from it. So get involved, get along to Sculpt January, links in the description, and I'll see you there.